So there's chatter about Eric Singleton's knee.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't tell how much of it is smoke and how much of it is legitimate concern. What we do know is what Hugh Freeze told us at his presser earlier in the week. He was asked specifically about health and Eric Singleton, and he said that he's close to 100%. They expect him to go Friday. And then he moved on to Alex McPherson, who, when healthy, was one of the best kickers in college football. A healthy Alex McPherson is, I believe he's 20 for 21 all time, which is pretty good. It's pretty good.
It's not bad.
And so he's been battling a sickness, an illness, all last year. He kicked 2 field goals in the Kentucky game last year. And then it sounded like over the offseason he was recovering. And I don't know. It sounds like he's kind of been having a battle again over the last few weeks. So they're going to have a conversation Friday.
That's the day of the game.
Yep. And Freeze said he's going to talk to Alex, and we're going to see what happens.
And so this becomes obviously Eric Singleton is the biggest name to watch on that injury report for Auburn.
I think that's a little debatable, Cam. I'm not going to lie to you.
Then go ahead. Then who is it?
Well, I mean, I think it's McPherson.
Okay. And I was going to ask because of the special team struggles and the ups and downs.
Right. He was such a key, because historically, like, Auburn's kind of taken for granted kicking for decades. I mean, we've always had a good kicker. So I think Auburn wins 2, maybe 3 more games last year if they have a kicker they can rely on. And I think the whole mood around the program is totally different. They went with a true freshman who was one of the top kickers in last year's class. His name's Towns Magoo, local kid.
Love that.
But he played like a freshman, and so it seems like he will be the guy if McPherson cannot go. But to act like that's not a factor, I think would be silly. I think that's a big deal.
Yeah, no, it is.
I'm not saying that directly to you. I'm just saying that in general. Like, we need Baylor folks need to be aware that, like, that is a major storyline going into Friday.
And it seems that whenever that becomes a bit of a storyline in college football, it plays out on the field, right? Like, it just does. Like, it's going to come down to a kick at the end of the game. What's Wes Byram up to these days?
I don't know. Probably like wearing his national championship gear all around. I don't know.
He's a freshman. Do you think he still has eligibility left? That was a long time ago, but these college football rules these days?
No. We've had lots of really good kickers since then.
Damn. I will say there's been one name on Baylor's injury report that's gone back and forth. It was kind of a long shot for him to play in this first game. He's now out. Dave Aranda used the term, I don't think he's going to make it, which is hilariously Dave Aranda. I'm hoping that Carl Williams will be alive during this game. But
what's the injury?
He said, I don't think he's going to make it. And that's a dude who was like your number 1 box safety. Like, that's where he, like, the star position, which is Dave Aranda is now famous for, where, in coverage, certainly, but could do a lot of different things for you, especially in run support.
Scoot him close to the line if you need to, drop him back if you need to.
And in this game in particular, that's a big deal. Like, that's a big deal. That might even be making up for some of the muscle that you might lose on the defensive line going up against Auburn's offensive line. He's not going to make it, Zach. I don't think he's going to make it. That's a hit.
What is his injury? Like, is there any chance he plays, or he's not going to make it?
He's not going to make it. Stage 4. No, I think it's a knee thing. He had it at the end of last year, and it knocked him out of some games. But I think that's what it is. Dave basically said, I don't think he's going to make it. Saw him getting worked on, is what he said. Saw him getting worked on, and it's not looking good. So is it like the best player on their defensive side? Probably not. But Gary Patterson said that was their best defensive back going into last season, and certainly the best defensive back against the run. So you take Rodney Harrison out of this game. That's a loss right there.
Sure.
A loss in terms of not having him out there. It doesn't mean they just lose automatically, but not yet.
But I mean, they've been practicing without him all.
Yes, that is
so they're used to him not being out there.
Correct. He's been in and out, mostly out, and the silver lining is that Baylor has schemed for that. Two. I'll put it this way, Zach. 2 guys who would have been starters on this year's defense are not playing in this game. One of them was lost in the spring. And one of them was more or less lost also in the spring when he hadn't really recovered yet. So they have game planned for this for the better part of, all of fall camp. Let's put it that way. Devin Turner, the safety, was the end of spring ball. So all of fall camp, they've been game planning towards that, not having those two guys.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that seems to be like less impactful if you are used to running things without them. So,
yeah, because this, I would say Eric Singleton
thing interesting is because like he's been fine.
Yeah.
But like there are some questions, like if he isn't able to go 100%, like he missed some of A-Day, like I think it was his hamstring back in the spring. And then there was like a stretch where like a lot of Auburn receivers were out for like a few practices. It may have just been one practice where they all overlapped, but that's been a thing, like availability of pass catchers for Auburn. Like, and thank goodness they're deep there. I still think they're fine without Singleton, but you want them. Like you got to assume in this NIL era, he was a top rated player pretty much everywhere in the transfer portal. Like you don't want that sitting on the sideline.
Yeah. You'd like him on the field.
Yeah.
If you're Auburn, I'd say.
So we'll see. And how much of this is gamesmanship? Like you said, it's week one. Like Hugh Freeze and the quarterback stuff. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say Hugh Freeze has already thrown out the gamesmanship. I've heard. It's smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know. But like, if you're Baylor, if you're Dave Aranda, like you've got to prepare for Eric Singleton regardless, right? Yep. Even if if he's 100% or not, you still got to do that. You got to prepare for Coleman, Horatio Fields, Perry Thompson, Sam Turner. Like Auburn's got a receiver room. And
Perry
the depth there, I know it's
Malcolm.
been kind of a thing on social media. Like Baylor's deeper at receiver, but I don't know
who started that.
Did you start that?
I said it on this show. I don't know if anyone was really saying it before. It's not the point of the top end talent. The top end talent in that room absolutely goes Auburn.
Can I ask you another thing about the Baylor fan base in a second? Do you mind? You mind? All right, that's coming up right here on this crossover edition of Locked on Auburn and Locked on Baylor.